If you are a snowmobile or dirt bike content creator and you put yourself online, chances are you've received some pretty ruthless and awful comments from strangers on the internet. And more often than not, you get those passive aggressive comments from people that you know. So how can we look past it and move on and not feel angry and upset and frustrated and sad from those hate comments? Hey, hi, and hello, Angelisa here. And if you're new to Braap's Throttle Talk, I am so happy that you're here. Welcome. Over here, we chat all things about dirt bikes, snowmobiles, and do a little bit of workshop solo style shows on goal setting, content creation, with a few interviews of badass women like yourself, and so much more. Look, I am no stranger when it comes to hate comments. I've dealt with a lot of stuff in the digital space for 25 plus years, and with the rise of social media, especially the past 4 years on TikTok, I've had way more hate comments come at me. Something I learned back in 2020 when I took a digital marketing course was how to deal with haters. Now, I'm not going to lie, I would say this is probably the most valuable asset to the whole program that I learned, and I'm just excited to share what I've learned and how I deal with hate comments by these simple steps. So if you're on the same ride as I am and you find it very hard to deal with some of these hate comments, here are some tips that can help you knock down those haters and move on with your content. So first and foremost, tip number 1 is pushing your ego to the side. Now, I have a full podcast episode talking about your ego. So it's called Stop Comparing and Being the Hype Woman That You've Always Wanted to Be. But this applies to reading hate comments. Now, depending on what you're sharing online, whether it's a video of a fail, an epic send, or a vulnerable moment, and you receive some hate comments, bring it back. Bring it back to you. Take a deep breath and just remember your truth. Remember in that moment in time. I am sure you were dealing with way more than what was shown on film. What people don't see are all of the other obstacles that you're facing physically, mentally. So remember your truth and remember that not everyone is going to see the obstacles in that video that you shared, right? Tip number 2, or advice for number 2, if you didn't know, hate comments actually boost your content. So instead of dwelling on what Blow Joe had to say, and if you just remember that he is helping you boost your content for the algorithm to get more people, to reach more people, who doesn't like getting more views and more followers, right? It's a goddamn blessing in disguise. So look at it in a more positive way and a positive perspective at the bigger picture, that the hate comments are doing you a favor. They're doing you a solid. So those haters, they're just helping you out, right? Tip number 3 is taking your time before responding. Think it through before you react. If you react from a place of defense, oftentimes it can create more of a negative impact on your day or days. So take the time needed to reply back to those comments if you feel you need to reply. And tip number 4, the best way to reply is to say this. So please adopt this into your own strategy with dealing with haters and those hate comments. Reply with this because it gets them every single time. Okay, so this is what I reply with. If you go onto my socials and you see hate comments, I always reply with this, okay? So I say, thank you so much for watching. It sounds like you're having a bad day. I hope you don't just have a good day. Have a Braap-tastic tomorrow. They never, ever reply after that. And usually they feel like massive dicks. The nicer that you are, the bigger the a-hole they feel. So, and we've heard that, right? Like we've heard always be nice, always be kind. And no one can ever take that away from you and like come at you saying you're like the meanest, worst human being ever, because you're always in a positive mindset. And if somebody ever complains, it's on them, right? All of the hate comments or passive aggressive comments come from a place of reflection. It's a mirror. They feel triggered by you in some way, and it's not necessarily your fault. It's on them. They need to do their own shadow work. They need to figure out what is triggering for them and do some really big soul searching and soul work. So if you do reply with, something like that, I hope you have a better tomorrow, or I hope you have a better day. And that person just comes at you even more. They continue commenting and they just can't get enough, or they just feel they need to be heard in some way. Well, it's just harassment at that point, right? And so my next advice would be, or I guess the next step would be to report them and then block them. I've done that many times. I'm actually going to tell you a quick story, is I had a male, a man, I guess, who called himself Santa Claus. I think he was an older man, and he was harassing me on my YouTube and also on my TikTok, kind of asking about showing a video, I think, of me kickstarting, to be honest. But he started commenting on every single video and telling me that I can't do it and that I'm like basically this horrible person because I wasn't gonna post a video of me kickstarting. And it just went off. It was really weird. He's trying to get off on something, and it was just didn't feel good, right? So I was kind, and I said, hey, thanks for the challenge. I'll maybe post that one day, but for now I'm injured. I had broken ribs at the time. Well, yeah, like I said, he just continued on, and it was just at that point, it was harassment, and I just blocked him and deleted all of his comments on all the platforms, right? Like if they can't, if those haters or whatever can't take a positive or kind comment back, it's just not even worth your time. It's definitely not worth my time. So Santa Claus, hopefully you're not watching. Actually, you won't be, because I blocked you everywhere. Santa Claus, who says that? Okay, tip number 5. So this is for the acquaintances. I wouldn't call them friends necessarily, but they're the ones that are like commenting maybe passive aggressive comments or remarks that don't sit very well with you, and you're just not really sure on how to take it. Well, if I were you, I would go back to number 1. So just remember your truth, what you know to be true in that moment, and put yourself in the boots of the one who is commenting. So again, it might be a reflection of them. They might be feeling insecure, maybe jealous, or maybe they wish that they could be doing what you're doing, or there might be some other issue happening with them that they're just kind of projecting onto you, which again is not your fault. So you could just go back to asking them if you want to reply. Sometimes I don't reply at all, but you could say, like, oh, thanks for watching. I always say that. Thank you so much for watching, because I truly, genuinely want to thank people for watching my content, because it took their time out of their day to watch my content. So always reply, thank you so much for watching. Hey, thank you for those tips. I'll give it a go next time, or I'll make sure to try it next time. Again, just be kind, be nice. But if they are, coming at you with even more stuff on top of that, then I would just leave it, and then maybe even block it, or just leave it. I don't know. There's just no more to say, right? Like, just don't let it get to you. Don't let it bother you. Now, something that I've developed over time is getting really good at not taking these hate comments or the passive aggressive comments to heart. I do brush them off by replying to them with something positive. The more comments that I get, the more I reply back with, which all helps with the algorithm on all the platforms. So when you put yourself into that mindset, creating content and putting yourself out there becomes so much easier. Now, I've gotten quite a few offensive comments from men saying I belong in the kitchen, or go back to the kitchen, or off to the kitchen you go. You know, like Instagram and TikTok actually block that out. They hide those comments because obviously it's very offensive. And so when I see that, like, again, I usually don't reply, but I will click on the profile and I'll see, you know, who is it that's commenting. And usually it's, I hate to say it, but usually it's older men that don't know how to ride themselves, or they think they know it all, right? There's a lot of those. And then you know, there was one that told me I should go back to the kitchen. And when I clicked on their profile, well, we had a few friends in common. And so with that, I thought, you're not supportive at all. So I did go a step further and I investigated to see, you know, how or what they're all up, like who they are. And I found their girlfriend and I replied back. And I did say, you know, hey, thank you so much for watching my content. I just hope this is something you wouldn't say to at the Instagram handle. As, you know, all of us women are trying to learn something. And, you know, I think that sharing the love and the support is better, and just to be kind. So that wasn't my proudest moment, but I do investigate and I do my research, and it's either like I want to stick up for myself, right? And I think we all should stick up for ourselves, but there comes to a point where, when is it worth it? Like, was it worth it me commenting that and adding his girlfriend into the picture? No. But also, like, shame on you for commenting that, and hopefully your girlfriend realizes that you can be a massive dick, or maybe she knows that already. But regardless, just don't be that. Just be kind, be nice. I do realize that a lot of these comments come from men. If you're a female rider, a lot of men feel they need to comment, you know, hateful comments, but oftentimes, a lot of these comments can come from women. So my reminder to you is that everyone feels they need to say something. There are a lot of keyboard warriors out there, and there are also a lot of people that are know-it-alls. Like, we all experience that. And there's just people that are just have nothing better to do other than comment crap. I swear that's all that they do all day long, right? And they probably do it on purpose. They grab their popcorn to see what type of reaction they can get. So all I can say is just stand true to you is the best way to go about sharing yourself online. So push those haters to the side and come to a place of they are actually helping you grow, and it's helping you as a content creator grow, right? And you can always block these people if they just can't seem to get the hint. And remember, it's those that comment hate or passive aggressive comments is usually because of a reflection or a trigger or a mirror. They are projecting some type of insecurity onto you. They're jealous, or they don't know how to do the things that you're doing and they wish they could. Oh, there could be so many things if you start to dig deep. And And so, yeah, that's all I need to say about that. Is usually it's a reflection of themselves projecting onto you. So I hope these tips were helpful. I hope it gives you a new perspective on how to communicate online, especially with other content creators. So this can work both ways. Instead of commenting negatively on other content creators, platforms, comment something positive and you'll just feel so much better. If we can come to a place of sharing good vibes and positivity, then we are so much further ahead. Now, I am no angel in this. I have worked hard to get to this place of not comparing myself with others, and I've been able to push my ego to the side. It doesn't want to come up some days, but pushing it to the side, breathing, reflecting. This is why I journal every single morning. I do a lot of self-work. So if this is something that you're working on, there is no shame, okay? It's a chance for us to work hard and be better. And I think that's what it's all about, like living this life and learning how to be a better human being, one step at a time. And if you are a snowmobile and dirt bike content creator, I am sure you have felt the burnout. The burnout of posting consistently or wondering what to post, or, oh, I gotta post that for this sponsor, or I need to do this for this sponsor or this brand collaboration. I just don't know what to post, or you're spending so much time trying to research on what to post. So I actually created some helpful tips on how you can avoid the burnout when it comes to your sports and content creation. So you can check that out next. I'll leave it on the video here if you're coming from YouTube, or I will also post it in the show notes. So check that out next. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being here over on the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Keep killing it safely out there, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. Okay, bye.